his thing, you know.
No, I don't.
Here he does.
Good morning,
No.
ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Inside Scoop. I am your host, Steve Scanlon. Sitting next to me is my co-host, Bubba. Welcome, Bubba.
Doing Bubba?
And sitting next to Bubba is Joe.
Hello.
That's
And-
Joe?
Well, I keep forgetting his name. I call him other things, but we got to keep it G-rated.
And, don't forget,
Emily,
Emily,
the doll.
a.k.a. Joe's girlfriend, right?
Not.
Yes.
Does she speak at all?
Yeah, it's a Joe. We've discussed this a few times. It looks like he finally gave her a bath, too. About time.
No.
He sleeps with the poor thing, and it's, you know,
I don't.
95 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's a hot one today.
Oh, it's warm.
It's supposed to be hot this weekend as well.
We should also mention we have a special guest in our audience today.
Where?
Oh, where?
He's about 6'5". He's right in front of you.
6'7".
Well, I was taking a couple inches off you. Getting older.
Oh, we got Corey in the audience. Welcome, Corey.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we got, I don't know, 2 or 3 deaths?
Yes.
2 or 3, Joe?
I got at least 4.
4 deaths?
One you told me about last night.
Okay, folks, we're going to start off with a sad note. We're going to start off with deaths that occurred within the last 2 weeks.
Firstly, actor James Caan.
Yes.
What was he in?
He did the Godfather movie.
Oh,
Yeah, he's funny.
okay.
He also did a Stephen King movie, Misery.
I never knew that.
Yes. Very good. Both good movies, actually.
Next, we got F Troop star Larry Stewart.
Larry Storch, 99.
Wow, 1 year short of hitting a big 1.
And his birthday was coming up. His 100th was coming up in January.
Wow, he was close to his big 100.
Well, let's see. The next one is Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana Trump.
Yes.
Now, she was the mother of what, 2 or 3 of his children?
Yeah.
3 of his children.
2 boys and a girl.
Okay. And the wife he has now is the mother of his youngest son?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is one you told me about. Bobby the Brain Heenan's wife, Cynthia Jean Heenan.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now you've taught me something today. I didn't see that.
She told me on the
today.
phone.
Yeah, they had
I next remember the Patriots I read today, too.
She passed.
Why was he last name Johnson? Robert Johnson? Very young. I think he was only 60. He passed away. I read that on the internet this afternoon, actually.
Okay. Now, you have a list of birthdays that recently
2 of them
happened?
I got from off of Facebook. There were recent ones, too. One was from July 15th. Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh, the
71.
former governor. I wonder if he's going to consider running for president someday.
I don't think so.
No.
And this next one was was this past Monday's. Mandy Rose.
I didn't know it was Mandy Rose's, but I also mentioned to my colleagues here that last week, the 13th, Sean Waltman, a.k.a. X-Pac, the 1, 2, 3 Kid, 6, and Sean Waltman. I've actually met Sean Waltman in person. He's the big 5-0.
The Lightning Kid when he was part of Global Championship Wrestling. Big 5-0 already. Wow,
yes.
Time is flying.
Yes.
I remember watching him on ESPN when GWF was on ESPN. He was in his early 20s. Now he's 50 years old. So I've been watching wrestling for over 30 years.
7 or 8 years ago, I think I met him in, it was an event in Bridgewater, I believe. Don't hold me to the venue. Same show where I talked to Iba.
He was on NXT
Yes, well,
recently.
One of the Viking Raiders, just told you, he's a local kid.
Oh, he's one of the Viking Raiders.
Yes.
Okay, I thought he was a different wrestler.
Handsome
My bad.
Johnny Hayes in this area. Todd Smith, really, really nice person to talk to.
You're talking about NXT. I'm glad to see Carmelo Hayes is still the North American champion for NXT.
They're giving him a good push.
Yeah. It'll be
Trained by
good to
Brian
see
Fury.
him show up on either Raw or SmackDown.
Yes.
Okay, Joe, wrestling news. You have any new matches that were announced recently?
Yeah, last time we were
Wait a
here.
minute. Before we quickly go into wrestling, just very quickly, I mean, I watched some of it yesterday. The American League won again in the All-Star game of baseball.
I didn't watch
3-2. Kept the streak going. I was like, I think it's 9 games in a row. Just wanted to throw it in there. The Celtics have a new point guard, I guess. A good one too. I guess they traded away a few players for him. That was kind of an odd trade, but they traded like 5 people for him, and I guess 3 or 4 of the people that they traded have been released already from the other team for budget crunches or something. So.
Now, the All-Star game, I read in the newspaper. I didn't watch it last night. I totally forgot that it was on. But they got a new rule now for the All-Star game. If it goes 9 innings and it's a tie, they therefore will have a home run derby among the 2 teams. They're gonna, the captain, or the coach rather, will choose which
as much as
2 or 3 guys to represent.
Much as I hate to
each
say,
team.
I think the American League would have dominated that.
The home run derby.
The guy who hit a home run, I mean, knock him. I can't stand the Yankees, but you have to admire what Aaron Judge is doing this year and John Carlos Stanton. John Carlos Stanton might be the strongest guy I've ever seen batting in the last 20 years. Guy's a strong man. Very strong man. So I think the American League would have dominated that home
I
run derby.
haven't watched baseball yet this year. I ought to start watching them again. How good or how bad are the Red Sox doing?
The Red Sox, I believe, are in 3rd place. They're kind of in a little bit of a slump. They were doing lousy at the beginning of the year. They come out of the slump. They were playing great, and they're kind of back into a slump again. They're not playing great baseball. Matter of fact, I read an article on them today. Hopefully they go after somebody to try to get one of these wild card spots in the American League East, American League. I hope they don't dump people. I mean, they're kind of teetering on, do we dump salary, dump a veteran who maybe not be, has resigned, or do we go out and find somebody? I hope things materialize with that. I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I try to watch as much as possible.
Yeah. All right, do you have some new matches to announce?
Before I mention that, it was WWE did signed a couple of people. Well, actually,
okay.
One renewed in a multi-year contract.
Yes.
Pat McAfee.
Yep, he announced
Okay,
it.
he's one of the announcers. Has he wrestled yet?
Yes.
He'll be wrestling his 2nd match.
Okay, is he the one who wrestled at WrestleMania?
Yes, he
against,
did.
I forget who was it, Prince? Actually, no, Theory?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's the one who wrestled Theory at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Okay.
And plus, Mrs. ex-tag partners signed with the WWE.
Okay, Logan Paul.
Yep.
Yep. Now, what does I'm not familiar with him. What does he do as
Well, I know
occupation?
he's like a boxer or MMA or something.
Oh, he's a boxer. Okay.
Or something like that.
thought he was on
And he was also on YouTube.
Social media. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yes, I remember this past Monday night they mentioned he fought Floyd Mayweather. So that's interesting. All right. Any new matches for SummerSlam? Did we get
Last
to
time
our
we only had
predictions?
2 matches.
2 matches. Okay.
Yeah, last time we only had 2 matches. Then we got more came up in the last couple of weeks.
Okay.
Should we review the first 2? Or?
Yeah, we'll go on them again, Joe. Speak up.
Okay, the WWE titles. This is a last man standing match. Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar.
I'm going to go with Roman Reigns because I see their Usos interfering. And last man standing match, there's no disqualification. And the last man standing, there's many ways where you could prevent your opponent from standing up for the 10 count. So I see outside interference with Roman Reigns, so I pick him over.
I think I mentioned
Brock
last
Lesnar.
show, too. I also pick Roman Reigns. I'm staying with my pick. But basically the same reasons.
And we know who you're going to pick.
Joe's going with Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, right, Joe?
Yeah. Now, one of the guys in this next match may be getting involved in that main event.
Could be.
U.S. title, Lashley against Theory.
I'll go first. I think Bobby Lashley keeps the title.
I agree with you,
I
Bubba.
agree with that too.
And I'm going to shock you if before you go into that. If Theory cashes in his Money in the Bank, I've actually read this on the internet. One of the reasons why they gave Theory the push to get Money in the Bank, he's kind of a squash. I don't think he's going to beat either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. Even after their match, I think one of those two people will beat Theory.
I can't stand Theory. I think he's too arrogant. He's too cocky. He thinks he's all that. I understand he's the youngest U.S. champion and he's the youngest Money in the Bank winner. But it's like, first off, he didn't belong, my opinion. This is my opinion. You guys probably come to agree with me.
I agree with you.
He did not belong in their Money in the Bank match because of Vince McMahon showing favoritism allowed him to enter that match, and he ended up winning, unfortunately.
Well, the reason why is what I think I said. They want someone in that match who's kind of a squash. I don't think he can beat either Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, whoever wins that title. I don't think even after that last man standing match. That's one of the reasons why he was given that push to win the Money in the Bank. If he cashes in, he's going to be one of the 15% that doesn't win.
When I was disappointed to see Theory win that match. Matter of fact, I got to be honest. I was eating chili dogs. And when he won that match,
Always goes to food.
I dropped the chili dog that was in my hand. It fell on my lap, and I ended up saying some bad words to the TV because I dropped my chili dog.
You dropped food?
Yes.
Really?
I got a little bit messy.
Really?
It was a little bit messy. I got mustard on my shorts. Yeah.
You dropped food.
Yes, unfortunately. But I did retry it.
Can somebody please call Emily? Please call Ripley for me because you won't believe it. You're not gonna believe this. Now I'm talking to adults. Okay? Steve dropped food. Impossible.
Now you see why I dislike Theory so much. Oh boy.
Steve dropped food. That is physically that's seriously. Somebody, Corey, you have a phone handy? Call Ripley. He wouldn't believe it either.
I'm on the phone with him right now.
Right now, yeah. Seriously. Steve dropped food.
This past Monday Night Raw, there was I think a women's title defense. All of a sudden, you had people fighting over the 24/7 title during that match. That was crazy. The ring announcer every couple minutes or a minute or so kept announcing, and now here's your winner and the new champion. Before he could announce the winner, another person ended up winning that match.
And her mom was one of the winners of the title too.
One of the women who won it was
How many matches
Bliss.
did you win, Joe?
Alexa Bliss will run the people who won the title that night, but I forgot who was it.
Alexa Bliss. I think Truth won the title back once. Didn't he? I
Truth
know.
won it. Okay. I forgot the last winner of that match was.
Dana Brooke. Got her title
Yeah,
back.
she got the belt. Yeah.
She started with the thing and she ended up with the thing at the end of the whole.
Yeah. Just
I think they should get rid of that whole 24/7 thing. I think it's becoming stupid.
Yeah, now,
Really?
actually, it wasn't it wasn't the women's title match either. It was a tag team match.
it was a tag team match. My bad. Now my
Didn't
question.
Nikki ASH win the title too during that whole fiasco?
I think
Yes,
so.
Yes.
I would tell you God's honest answer. I was 3/4 away to sleep when that was on. I do DVF, Rob, and I fell asleep. I woke up and all kept hearing was, I'm a new champion. I'm like, huh?
Now the NXT champions rather, they win it so often that it would have surprised me soon. There'll be so many people more times champion than Ric Flair and John Cena. By the way, they keep running that NXT the 24/7 champions.
Well, I think R-Truth already has that beat.
Does he? How many times did
I'm not sure.
Come on, no one knows.
Jeez.
I don't think he knows.
I remember a few years back, maybe someone would know, this is a question for one of you guys. There was rumors that WWE was gonna introduce a new title called the, the Legends title.
Yes, I've
Did
heard.
they end up scrapping that idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And now they got the 24/7 title, which had the same rules as the Hardcore Championship back in the 90s during the Attitude Era, when WWE had the Hardcore rules. But I miss those matches. I like the Hardcore matches where you got to bring in different weapons. And I thought it was hilarious too. The storylines they had evolve around the Hardcore matches.
Okay, let Joe go back to his SummerSlam list.
And the 6 new matches we never.
6 new ones? Okay, I apologize.
First is Pat McAfee versus Corbin.
I'm going to go with Corbin. I think he's going to continue his lucky streak.
I see Pat McAfee winning that match on something fluky and then jumping out of the ring fast.
I'm going with Pat.
Yep, of course.
We know that.
He wants to keep his pay-per-view winning streak.
No, he's a face, so you got to pick him.
And this next one is WWE Tag Titles with a special guest referee, Double J, Jeff Jarrett.
Now, I was surprised. As a matter of fact, Joey could verify it. I called him right up. I go, am I seeing this correctly? Jeff Jarrett as the guest referee? And I was surprised, and I am happy to see Jeff Jarrett. I mean, I'm a fan of his, not a big fan. But knowing that he was part of TNA, that made me more surprised to see him.
I actually met him. You're going to be shocked at this.
Referee. Okay.
The day after an event, I was in Florida on vacation. I met him at SeaWorld. Coming out of the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I met Jeff Jarrett. I went over and shook his hand. I hope he washed his hands. But
Probably not.
his daughter came out and they were running to get to one of the events. But I did shake his hand. And I thanked him for what he did for wrestling. He's a good wrestler.
Yes. His dad, Jerry Jarrett, was a promoter.
Yes.
I forgot what federation, but he was a promoter.
Yeah, down the Mid-South area.
Yeah.
Oh, finish. I started the Usos against the Street Profits.
I'm going to go with the team I want to win. I'm going to go with the Street Profits.
I think the Usos are going to win the match, and the reason why is because I'm reading it online, and we also heard it on Raw. It was like a rumor slip that the Street Profits are having problems. I don't think they're having problems. I've read that they might be breaking up the Street Profits because they want to give Montez Ford a little bit of a push. I think the Usos keep the Bloodline Championship going. That's my opinion. And Joey's going with
Street Profits.
There's a shocker, huh?
There we go. The SmackDown Women's title, Liv Morgan against Ronda Rousey.
That could be interesting.
I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey winning the championship once again.
I am going to go with Liv Morgan on a count out, or she's going to get counted out, or someone's going to get involved in the match. You might see someone by the name of Bailey come out and interfere.
Yes, I've seen something about that.
Yeah,
yes.
so have I. So it might be a no contest. Bailey might come out and interfere, and so I think Liv retains her title for that reason. That's my opinion. But I've read somewhere that Bailey may be coming back for SummerSlam. What capacity?
Ah. So who are you going with, Joe?
I'll go with Liv on that one. Okay, another women's title match.
Wait. Liv, she's a bad girl.
No, she's
not.
Oh, she's a face.
They're both kind of faces.
Okay, never mind. I thought she was a heel when I was going to say, what? Joey votes for a bad guy for this match?
No.
Wow. Okay.
I've been backing her up on wanting to see her win one of the women's titles.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of women's, Raw women's title, Bianca against Becky.
Then that's going to be a really that potentially, if they let it go, could be the match of the night. It could be, other than I think the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match, those two girls can really work well together. Mm-hmm. And to pick one of them now, I think Bianca keeps her title right now.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to go with Becky because I think she is hungry. in a way, hungry, not as in hungry, but she's wanting that championship
So bad.
so bad that she's going to do what she can to win it. So I'm going to go with Becky on that. And Joe, you're going to go
I'm gonna go with the wife of one half of the Street Profits.
Yeah.
Bianca.
Matter of fact, both of them, you bring that up, both of them are married to WWE men
Oh
wrestlers.
yeah. The next match has got the other one's husband. The next match is Riddle against Seth Rollins.
Oh, I wanted to go with, I'm going to go with Riddle for that.
I'd like to see Riddle win the match. They're giving Riddle a slight push. I think Seth Rollins wins that match. He's going to win the match. It could be, again, it's going to be one of those matches that really could steal the show. Both those guys can work well. I mean, Riddle's been working better and better with people, taking a beating, but I think Seth wins that match.
I'm going with Riddle because I smell
Just
an RKO out of nowhere.
And just because he's a face. That's
This next one.
Now, before you go on, Joe, this past Monday night, Kevin Owens had Riddle on as a guest on their their
KO show.
KO show. And he was trying to convince Riddle to be his new tag team partner. He was trying to get him to become his best friend. Matter of fact, my best friend is food.
It was a setup, actually.
sorry.
Didn't you see that? I saw that. It was a setup. Mm-hmm. He set him up, so Seth Rollins could take him out. Mm-hmm. He tried to butt up Riddle. Riddle may act dumb, but he's not as dumb as people would think he is.
And the two members of the other talk show that was on Monday night, Logan Paul versus The Miz.
That's going to be an interesting match.
I'm going to go with The Miz because The Miz has more experience in the ring.
I think that could potentially be, again, a double disqualification. They might keep beating each other, and they have to throw the match out because for the disdain for each other. So there'll be no winner in that match. There'll be double disqualification. Because they can keep that going. They can keep that going until some Survivor Series if they want to.
And Joe, you're going to go with
Logan Paul. Because he has revenge on his mind because he wants to get back at what Miz did to him at WrestleMania.
Why didn't The Miz attack him after WrestleMania? I'm trying to.
He wanted the spotlight for himself.
Okay.
Exactly.
I bet SmackDown is going to be in Boston this Friday night.
Yes, it is. So, I mean,
okay.
we show this on Saturday, folks, but hopefully you saw that online somewhere that SmackDown will be in Boston. You'll be a day late and $1 short. We should have mentioned it last show, but we didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know it was this week. Boston was going to host SmackDown. Do you guys know what matches will take place this Friday?
I have no idea.
Okay. Now, Boston, they held many different events there of wrestling. And I forgot what WrestleMania they held, but it was during the Attitude Era. Where
I was there.
14.
I was there.
Stone Cold wrestled, was it Bret Hart? Then,
No, it was Stone Cold against Shawn Michaels.
was Shawn Michaels. Okay, and Mike Tyson was the guest referee.
Yes.
You were there.
I was there.
That was number
No
14.
kidding. Wow, how was it? Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because I watched the pay-per-view, but however, I did not know of anyone who went to the pay-per-view.
I went to that. Yes, I did.
How great was I'm sure
It was good to be at
great.
WrestleMania. It's the only WrestleMania I've ever been to, and the place was crazy. I actually had Tito Santana within about 10 feet of me doing commentating.
Wow.
On a side note, to go into independent wrestling, I did attend the RWA Revelations this past weekend in Providence at the church, at the new venue. That's now it's history. A great card. There was about maybe about 60 people in there. It was a new venue for them. It was okay. They had some raffles. One of the wrestlers that you might even know, the Mighty Bosch, with Sid Morgan. You've seen the Mighty Bosch wrestle, I think, with some of the other shows.
Okay.
He lost his entire apartment. His apartment caught fire, and he lost everything he owns.
Oh no, that stinks.
And we've all known about it in the wrestling circuit for a while, but T. Phoenix had some raffles. I thought it was for the church, the raffles, but anyway, I had a feeling it was for him. So I bought raffle tickets and I won one of the raffles.
Oh, cool.
But it was the money went to the Mighty Bosch. All the proceeds from that and the matches went to the Mighty Bosch. I mean, to see a 325-pound tough wrestler kind of weeping a little bit in the ring, showing respect, it means a lot. I'm not mentioning his real name, but Bosch, I'll show you this hopefully on film someday. You know, thumbs up and hope things work out for you. If you know, I approached you and asked you if you needed any help.
These independent wrestlers are really nice people in real life.
And another one I want to mention is about what I mentioned last show, and it's happening this Saturday. So, folks, after you watch our show this Saturday, head down to Woonsocket, 870 River Street, the American Legion. NCCW is giving away 2 tickets to their July 30th show. We just mentioned SummerSlam, I know, but you can go see a live wrestling show. 2 tickets for free. Times are tough and the price of gas and what have you, and the economy. Jim Allen, the president and owner of the show, is giving away 100 tickets, 50 pairs of tickets to the wrestling show. You got to go down there between 12 and 2:30 this Saturday, the 23rd, to 870 River Street. If you can't do it and can't make it, and you want to just go to the venue, it's at 870 River Street. It's on July the 30th. So go see another great show. I also want to mention real quickly, on August the 13th is a great card developing for House of Bricks at the Yacht Club in Fall River. He's having a reunion show. That's a $15 show. I know that. He's a little bit more. The money's going to charity. He always donates some money to charity for that. I mean, I want to thank our host, Steve, for allowing us to be here. I want to thank Emilia for her input. Joe knows what it is because Joe talks to her. All right? I want to thank Joe for his lists, his people, and he mentions who's passed away. I mean, I can't single out one person. I can't who passed away, but Larry Stork was around for many, many, many years. I mean, he was mentioned in Married with Children. He was mentioned Aegon, 99 years old. And Joe mentioned before our taping. I mentioned during our taping he was only about 6 months away from his birthday. Rest in peace, Corporal Aegon. I think that was his character name. Went after him.
Yep.
I want to thank our director for having us, WACS for letting us have our show, our director for directing us. I want to thank Steve and Joe for letting me be on the show with them. I enjoy our show. Stay cool out there, people. All right? Until our next show, take care.
See ya.
Bye.